It's seriously so embarrassing at this point. Truly embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. If I was the guy who makes the videos of himself getting stung, can't remember, Coyote Peterson, I'd say Siri embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. The sad thing, guys, is they're ours, and we're going to get into it. But first, guys, I'm Jared. This is RedRacer Video. I was once a car guy. Somehow now I'm like a political news or late current event news guy. And I'm here to talk to you guys about a few things today. We're going to jump into it. The media's, basically, in my opinion, the media's behavior is absolutely becoming an embarrassment to our country. You guys, please stick around. Whichever side of the fence you're on, in the comments down below, tell me what you think. I want to hear what you think. I want to know. If you don't think this video sucks, make sure you guys hit the like button. And then, please, again, like I said, shares, whatever I can do to get you guys to help me. YouTube doesn't love me, as evidenced by the fact that we went up 16,000 people in a couple of weeks, and now we can't get 100 in a few days. I know I didn't start sucking that much worse. I watch my analytics. Likes are still way up. Comments are still way up. None of that stuff changed. Retention's the same. All the numbers are the same. I just got turned off. So I say all that, guys, not to beg, but to let you know, if I don't get a bunch of help, this stuff doesn't work. So thank you to everybody that's already done that. Again, like I said, we have grown a lot. Let's get into it. The media is acting ridiculous. What did a bunch of our friends on the other side of the fence, or on the other side of my fence, the Democrats, the left, what did they have to say about Memorial Day? I want to talk about that a little bit. Kayleigh McEnany, I think is how you say her name. Kayleigh, if I got that wrong, I really apologize. You're doing an amazing job. And then just, a couple more points, some things basically around those points. I am kind of fly by the seat of my pants, guys. You probably know that. And I look for inspiration from all kinds of things. And when I get that thing, I grab my notebook and I get rolling. And I saw some stuff in the last couple of days that made it really obvious what I want to make a video about. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming. On that note, guys, stick around, subscribe, hit the bell. I have a lot of stuff coming, but today this was really obvious. This is where we wanted to go. We're going to talk about Hillary a little bit too. So again, if you don't share this video, it's going to get suicided. So this is what's happening. I don't know if any of you guys are watching the news media or the press conferences still. The task force stuff has kind of simmered down. I said it in my last video. I'll say it again. The whole pandemic stuff's falling apart. I know most of you believe that, or a lot of people on the channel anyway believe that. As evidenced by having been around and traveled a little bit recently, I know that there are people that see the other way. I get it. But the numbers don't lie. It's all a scam. You have as much chance of dying in a car wreck, or actually way more in a car wreck. Same chance flu, all kinds of reasons that point to stuff that's just ridiculous, right? Not going to get into it. Moving on. I just said that to preface what we're getting into next. Did any of the Democrats say anything patriotic yesterday? What did Hillary say? What did Michelle, what did Michelle say yesterday? What did Barack say yesterday? First, I want to touch on what Barack said, okay? Barack, out of everybody, was the only one that said anything even kind of patriotic. And I think it was like condescending patriotic. He said it, and then in the same breath, he talked about how, let me look at my notes real quick so I don't mess this up. But he basically said, thanks to the people who've sacrificed. And then he said, but all the ones that are dying from the Gates virus right now, we can't forget their sacrifice or what they're sacrificing. So a backhanded thank you to the people who actually sacrificed. Not taking anything away from anyone or to anyone who's lost family or anything to this virus. These people didn't go to war. This really was just another virus. If you're mad at anybody, it should be the people who created the virus, the Gates virus. I added that, by the way. He didn't call it the Gates virus. I did. Don't take it easy. In the comments, don't tell me I misquoted him. I know I made that up. I pulled an Adam Schiff, and I was doing a parody there. That's my excuse. That's how we get away with those things. I learned that from Adam Schiff. You don't know what I'm talking about? Look it up. Anyhow, so again, Barack said something of kind of patriotic, but then he said that vets are dying from the coronavirus, trying to keep the virus alive. Do you want to know who else is keeping the virus alive? And it's not the virus. It's not the mutation of the virus. It's not the second wave of the virus coming in September. All of it, again, media, bullcrap, hysteria. You want to know who is keeping the virus alive? I watched, again, Kayleigh McEnany, and this kind of segues me into my next piece here. I watched the news conference she did. She's the press secretary. She does an amazing job. But she's in front of the press every day. And they are trying every day to they don't even ask questions anymore. And this kind of goes with the title of the video. I'm finally 7 minutes in. I'm finally to the title. But their line of questioning is not questioning. And nobody, to the media, to anyone in the media that ever sees this video, they probably won't. But to anybody left who gives the media any credibility. And when I say the media, I'm talking about the 90% that's owned by the same 6 people. And now some of Fox News, sadly. What the questions they ask are not questions. They tell a story before they ask their question, and then they kind of leave a question at the end, where they've pigeonholed this person being Kayleigh, into a corner. They all now wear their masks so that everybody sees them in their masks. They are keeping the virus alive. I'm sorry to people who get their feelings hurt when I say it, but you wearing masks to the stores in public, you are keeping the virus alive. There's way too much information. It's just not true anymore in the media, and their line of questioning and everything they're doing is what's keeping it alive. Their line of questioning is just, there was 2 things. Now, this is actually going to go off topic a little bit, but there was 2 things they talked and basically grilled Kayleigh on for a long time. And those 2 things were the virus stuff, basically. They have to ask a whole bunch of questions to keep that alive, right? And then they kept trying to force Donald Trump to stop talking about Joe Scarborough. He talked about how Joe Scarborough had a lady die in his office under his desk by blunt trauma to her head, and it looked a little weird. He tweeted about it. So now a bunch of people in the media, and tell me they didn't get this talking point from the same people, George Soros, Hillary Clinton. They asked the same question. I think 3 or 4 different people said the same thing. And it was, the widower of this lady has asked him, please stop tweeting. They're trying to censor him on Twitter from bringing this up. They don't want, and Joe Scarborough, the last thing he wants is people talking about this and thinking about this. So they're trying to silence Trump by saying the widower wants her to stop talking about it. Since when did the media have 1 ounce of shame and care about anything about like that? When do they care about ruining people's lives? When did that start? Someone help me in the comments down below. When did that start? If it started at all, it started at whatever time I watched that today. I was watching at 1:11 today, oddly enough, which is what sparked me to make this video. But at 1:11 today, I was watching them ask questions that were embarrassing and basically backing her into a corner and saying, why won't he stop saying stuff on Twitter, even though the widower's begging her to stop or begging him to stop? Please. Stupid. Just stupid. The other question that they're grilling him on, obviously, again, like I said, is virus stuff. And it's just dumb. It's embarrassing to our country. I've got a whole bunch of people in these comments down below from other countries, from this country, from everywhere, talking about how embarrassingly obvious and ridiculous the media and their line of questioning and their behavior is. And today what I watched was embarrassing. And yesterday what I watched during Memorial Day, what I watched an ex-president post on Memorial Day, what I watched an ex-president's wife post on Memorial Day was an embarrassment. And she might be on the ticket soon. Watch for that. When Joe Biden finally goes, yeah, I'm embarrassing, enter the next person. It could be Michelle. It could be whoever it is going to be embarrassing, and we have the Trump card, so don't even trip. But it's just embarrassing. Embarrassing, all of it. The media is not the media. We know that. 90% of the media is literally nothing more than a talking point for the Democrat, for the left, for the deep state, for the cabal, for whatever you want to call it. Moving on. Hillary, this is how patriotic Hillary got yesterday. This is amazing. I hope you guys hung on to the end. This is what Hillary said yesterday. She thanked Cuomo for keeping people safe. Cuomo from New York, Hillary Clinton, decided to thank Cuomo for keeping people safe. That's who deserved to be thanked yesterday on Memorial Day, was Cuomo. I want you guys yourselves to go decide why that is absolutely sickening. I'm smiling so that I don't get angry. I hope you guys understand these videos, when I laugh, it's to lighten the mood. It's not because I actually find any of this humorous. My blood boils. I laugh to not scream or to cry. Let me make sure I've got everything I've got here. Last thing I got ending with this. This is the best part. If you guys stayed till the end, you guys got the best part of the video, truly. Last thing also, before I say the last thing before the last thing, I do that a lot. You notice I'm standing up. I'm much closer to my flag. Blatantly obvious. If you think I'm ripping off Brandon Tatum too hard, let me know. If you think I'm ripping off Educating Liberals too hard, let me know. I love both those channels, both those dudes. They do it really, really well, and I thank them for everything they do. Sitting in my rocker was weird. I didn't like sitting down. I move a lot, as you guys probably noticed in the video. I bounce around. So my question is, did I rip people off too hard? Do I move around too much? Because I do have that restless leg thing and I move around. All right, here we go. My 8-year-old today, this morning, right before I made this video, the day after Memorial Day, I was watching Kayleigh McEnany, and I was watching her do her press secretary thing today, where she basically goes and gets badgered by the press. She did her quick little thing. Today was really quick. Go watch it yourself. I'm not going to tell you everything that happened, because I think you guys should watch those things real time so you can then make fun of the media later for twisting it and spinning it. Getting back to what she said. Made some really good points, went on to get badgered. My son was in the kitchen area doing his homeschooling, doing his stuff, and I had my camera or I had my YouTube going, and he heard what they were saying. My 8-year-old, soon to be 9, but my 8-year-old, I quoted him. I grabbed my notebook and quoted him. Ready for this? My 8, soon to be 9-year-old said to me about the people questioning Kayleigh, those people are all really mean to her, but then she wrecks them. Does she like having that job? Dude, he's 8. He's going to be 9. And I quoted you, I'm sure I missed a word, but almost verbatim what my son today picked up on, the whole entire general theme of the way our media behaves. They talk all the time about how misbehaved Donald Trump is, when they themselves are the embarrassingly misbehaved ones. They talk all the time about all the people like me, the racist and the xenophobes and the conspiracy theorists and the whatevers. Always remember, everything they're putting on anybody else at any given time is what they themselves are doing. They have become an embarrassment to our country, and it's not just them. So have the Democratic Party, guys. I'm sorry, but there are so many of even the Democratic Party in my comments saying, yeah, we're out. It's getting bad. This party is over with. And again, in the description, or sorry, guys, in the comments, tell me what you think about the possibility of the Democratic Party just going away. Last thing before I go, if stuff that I said was repetitive and you heard it somewhere else, you can't remember where, yes, I watch X22. I watched Dan Bongino. I've seen Fall of Cabal. I've seen Out of Shadows. I've watched a lot of stuff. I've literally, for the last 2 or 3 years, buried myself in this stuff. I am not a prophet by any stretch. I am a repetitive person. I'm just giving you guys what I see happening with my twist. And I love that everybody thinks I'm doing a halfway decent job of it. So thank you. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, tell your friends. I'll see you on one, I hope, tomorrow. Thank you so much for the support. Jared, I'm out. RedRacer video.